Steph Curry is not generational talent. I know where this is coming from. It's coming from Mr. Double. Was it 00? Oh, no. No. That's Agent. This is coming from Agent Zero. Gilbert Arenas. I was watching this shit. Was I watching this shit live? I don't know if I was watching it live. But when he said it, I was like, huh? Steph Curry is not what? The nigga was basing it off of just pure physical talents. Like physical God-gifted abilities. That makes sense, right? I get what he's saying there. Because that shit really is generational. But Steph Curry, he's not big and can't jump like MJ or Bron. But he's fucking generational. The 3 is generational. He literally has changed a generation of basketball. The way it's played now. He's gotten... You can see that through Caitlin Clark. She is a perfect example of that. To the point now, the WNBA is being talked about. Because the way she shoots the ball. The way she shoots the 3 from deep like Curry. That's generational. So that phrase makes no sense. It makes no sense. I don't give a fuck if you played in the NBA or a professional. My nigga, as a fan, he's changed the game. And I'm a hater. I don't fuck the Warriors, fuck Curry, fuck them rings. But I can acknowledge he's a generational talent. So that statement is brain rot. It's fucking brain rot.
Steph Curry's not a generational talent. Well, at least according to Gilbert Arenas, that is.
They need to change it all up.
Pat Riley's never won without a generational type of talent. When you talk about generational people, he's had 3 of them. Right? His legacy, you can be the next Pat Riley. Well, hold on, wait, relax. He's had 3 generational talents. That's all his championships are under. Shit, Magic and Kareem.
So yeah, James Boyd.
Isn't the only one that you can think of is fucking what's it called? The Pistons. Okay. I guess I don't want to say like Spurs, but even then, like in Tim Duncan's own right, he's somewhat generational, but overall. Let me just watch this.
I mean,
Steph Curry's fucking generational.
But generational talent. But I'm just saying,
North Carolina's fun.
No, what I'm saying is that Magic and Kareem, you had both of them winning championships, and then you went to try to do something else. You had Dwayne Wade, then you got Shaquille O'Neal, right? You won, and then you got rid of them, and then you got LeBron James. When you're talking about the generational, those different makers, that's who your championships have been built off of. You never won a championships with teams or what's it? So Jimmy is basically the only player that's gotten you
close to it.
It is so crazy.
I can say this too. Fuck it, I don't care. Steph Curry is more generational than KD. KD does have that generational physique, physical gifts, 7-foot sniper, but his game hasn't been generational the way Steph Curry's has been, in my eyes. And it's very similar. They both score, right? The ball. But something about Curry, bro, like, nigga, you have to damn near double team. You have to be guarding this nigga at the parking lot.
You know what I mean? It's funny that no one's really talking about it. That the way that this clip started was this man claiming that out of all people, Pat Riley is maybe overrated or we overstate him a little bit too much because he's never won a championship without a generational
that's also
star.
like,
and then proceeded to say that the closest
like,
he's been was Jimmy
like,
Butler. Pat Riley was coaching the New York Knicks in 1994 and they got to the finals and took Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets to 7 games. So to say that Jimmy Butler is the closest closest you've ever been is just factually incorrect. Also, Pat Riley, while he was coaching the Knicks, literally some of the most successful seasons in franchise history, and then went on to coach the Miami Heat before Shaq got there, and to this day are just some of the most successful seasons in franchise history. When you're making these claims about his inability to lead a team or coach a team to win a championship without generational talent and believing that Jimmy Butler's the closest he's gotten, that's just factually incorrect. But just as a sidebar, I just had to put respect on Pat Riley's name. I just think this is a very, very terrible way to even make this argument.
Be real, how many teams have won without generational talent?
Steph is not a generational talent. Detroit.
Steph Curry.
Steph is not a generational.
Steph not a generational.
You know what a generational? Wemby is a generational person.
I was like, I don't know. Guys, so what are we doing right now? Are we about to go down this path of Steph not being generational? Now, I want to be clear. The point that Josiah made is still a very valid one. You can't really name too many championships in NBA history without a generational talent.
Yeah, that's what. I'm thinking Tim Duncan. I'm thinking Dirk on the Mavs. Who else? Obviously, you got Kobe. Let me fucking see, bro. Jokic is fucking generational. He got 3 MVPs. Giannis. No, he mentions Giannis. I'm trying to think niggas that he didn't mention. Kawhi.
If you want to go as far as to say that Steph isn't one, there's still only a handful. So the point that Josiah was making, that most coaches that go on to win a championship still did so with a generational talent. You're sitting here trying to, again, put into question or belittle Pat Riley in terms of his ability to build a team, to coach one, to lead them to a championship, and saying he's never done it without a generational talent still is a very, very, very bad argument. I just don't understand why people, when having conversations about coaching, don't talk about who these coaches are in terms of how they scheme, their outlook and their philosophy on offense and defense. How do they, manage timeouts, rotations, actual things that come with coaching.
And you gotta also remember, coaching, you got a whole staff with you too. It's, in my opinion, you gotta include the whole coaching staff, not just the head coach. You gotta include the whole coaching staff because they play a part too. They play a huge part.
Just because you haven't won a championship does not necessarily mean that you are a bad coach. John Nelson is a great example of that. But anyway, let's hear Gil out for a second. Let's see. Steph's not a generational talent. It's crazy.
Steph became
a great generational means you can't mimic it. You can't
mimic that number one.
You said you can't. Can you mimic Magic Johnson, 6'9" point guard with the vision? No, you can't mimic Shaquille O'Neal's body.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You can't mimic fucking LeBron James. You can't mimic Wemby. Right? There's only 5 or 6.
Skill is based on physical
traits.
Okay.
So before we go into this, because this is kind of blowing me, I'm being open-minded. I'm being optimistic because technically speaking, when we do talk about the concept of talent, that is different from skill. Talent is God-given ability, things that you cannot teach, things that are just given to you from birth, right? So yes, I do believe that there's physical traits, athleticism, quickness, speed that comes along with it that you cannot teach, that some of these other players have, that literally put them in class and give them a significant advantage in terms of their ability to just dominate. In those regards, especially depending on how you may feel about certain talents that certain people may have that benefits them in a skill standpoint, because I do believe there's certain talents that Curry has that just benefits him more skill-wise and probably physical traits or athleticism, right? Regardless, if you feel like what Curry does is a lot of skill, oh, okay, fine. I hear what you're saying. The whole mimicking thing, though, doesn't really make any sense. Because on one hand, you can't say that Magic is 6'9" with that vision, but then bring up LeBron James, who's also 6'9", 6'10".
That's what niggas say. LeBron is Magic with Jordan athleticism.
Vision. Like, you can't say those things.
Nigga, you can damn near say the same shit with fucking Ben Simmons when he was on his shit, when he was hooping. He's 6'9", 6'10", with that kind of vision.
Nonetheless, I can hear what he's saying. If there's a physical trait, physical stature, you're 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", with certain things that normally do not
right, at least I can argue that.
of that
like,
height status,
come on, bro.
certain levels of athleticism, physical traits such as your wingspan, hand, verticality, a bunch of stuff, right? Your your hand length, your quickness, your leaping abilities. Those are all traits that would separate you from the field, and that's talent.
Physical traits is generational. Like somebody like Giannis is tweaking, right? Like Jokic is not a generational talent.
No.
He's just a great basketball player.
Yeah.
Curry was a great basketball player.
Facts, bro.
He's already
Yeah,
contradicted himself. Giannis is not tweaking. Giannis would be very clearly a generational talent. Someone who's 6'11", 7 feet tall, moving like that. That's not tweaking. That's very clearly generational talent. Go back to what you said. When it came to Magic, someone at 6'9" with that type of vision cannot be mimicked.
Okay. We haven't seen... I don't know if we are going to see a 6'11" fucking built ass nigga.
Just 6'11" with similar vision. Is that ever going to be mimicked? More than likely, no. So if that's not going to be mimicked, we've never seen it before, and it comes with the height, the stature, physical traits that we don't see players normally have. When players are 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", they normally don't have the passing ability that a Jokic has, especially when you're 6'11" and taller. You don't have that passing ability. You don't have that ball handling ability. There's several things that Jokic does that is just I genuinely believe that is an inherent talent to him. Let's see how this continues to go, because you've lost me.
Generational is something that's once every 20.
Once every.
Like when it comes, you're like, damn.
Sheesh, you got that?
And then that's what I said. And he's had 3 of them, 4 of them.
Josiah is like, this is a pretty interesting conversation we're having that I'm just not agreeing with at all. And I agree with Josiah. I understand what Gil is saying, but I know for a fact that it's still it doesn't really cater to the argument that he was having before, because again, most championships are won with generational talent. So denigrating Pat Riley like that doesn't make any sense. B, splitting hairs between Magic Johnson and a Giannis and a Jokic, to me, doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
Duncan was Mr. Fundamental. Fundamental is what took him over the top. He was a great basketball player. Called freak of natures, the freak of nature. Like he's had the freak of natures.
So you wouldn't say Steph shooting
is not a freak of nature?
Makes him a freak
of nature. It's called hard working.
Absolutely.
Hard working. His shooting is freak of nature.
Absolutely.
He is not a freak of nature. Like when we say freak of nature, Bo Jackson, what is he?
Okay. That's okay.
Right? Okay. Deion Sanders. Is Jerry Rice a generational talent?
No.
Generational hands.
I mean, Steph played golf.
No.
He
just became.
he'll play basketball and then go. He'll play basketball and then go win a golf tournament.
That's what I said. Like he's a hard worker. That's the difference between like a Michael Jordan. They're generational. They're engines itself is what makes them there.
Would you say Kobe was a generational talent?
He wasn't.
Nope.
Hard work.
He was a prophet.
Did that hard work turn him into a generational talent?
That's what I said. It's just you got it's just a freak of. It's just you got the God gift. That's what I said. It's.
Brandon, would you say that?
Like that's what I said. Right now we're talking about what? Wemby. You can say Luka.
So you put Luka in there, but you wouldn't put Joker in there.
Luka 6'10" point guard. I mean,
Luka's not no 6'10". Chill out. He gotta be 6'9".
Losing me, because I agree. If you're saying generational, Luka 6'9", 6'10" point guard. As a sidebar, we're kind of debunked the idea that Magic Johnson isn't going to be mimicked when you're naming another player that effectively mimics a lot of what makes Magic generational. But nevertheless, if that's the case, then why wouldn't Jokic be generational? If Luka is generational, then why wouldn't Jokic also be generational when Jokic is 6'11", almost 7 feet tall, and has the same passing trait and ability that Magic and Luka and LeBron have? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
And Luka did it when he was 16. He was doing it where he was coming from.
Kelly, EuroLeague MVP.
And right now it's what you got. I mean,
I wouldn't say Luka because he wasn't physically demanding.
I'm including fucking Larry Bird. That nigga is generational.
He grow into that right now. I wouldn't say Luka.
We asked the chat, is Steph Curry generational? 71% say
top 5 white.
This is your
top 3 white boys of all time.
Then they can't be Steph Curry.
Come on, bro.
I think they would agree with you.
Wait. What do you say?
Put it like this. Then they can't be Steph Curry.
I think they would agree with you.
Yes, my nigga. We would agree with you.
Yeah.
Everybody won't agree with you, bro. That's the whole point.
Nigga, there's niggas built like Steph Curry at 6'3". They can't shoot like Steph Curry. No one can shoot like him.
I think most people believe that Steph Curry shooting is not mimic. You cannot go out and do what Steph Curry does. There are certain attributes and traits that Steph Curry has that it doesn't matter how many shots you put up.
And even if you do, I feel like, bro, that helps you more. Like, bro, this nigga has created a generation of guards to play like him. In my eyes, that is generational.
Going to be able to shoot like Steph Curry. There is something that he possesses that makes him extremely and extraordinarily different from any and everyone else. I genuinely believe that just because you put up as many shots as Steph Curry does not automatically mean you're going to be shooting as good as Steph Curry or even close. You're right. That's close. Exactly what people believe. There are going to be more people who have the ability to mimic or come close to Magic Johnson's ability as a 6'9" guard with great passing vision versus Steph Curry's shooting ability.
I can agree. I can agree to that. I feel like, me personally, my passing is not no fucking Magic Johnson, but my passing definitely is closer to Magic Johnson than my shooting is. My shooting is trash. It's not even near. It's like Magic Johnson's passing and Steph Curry's shooting, right? My passing would be like right here. My shooting would be like, nigga, you can't see it. You can't see it, okay? It's not even close to no damn Steph Curry.
Then you can't tell your kids you can be the next Steph Curry.
It's higher.
You can't be the next generational player.
That's for sure.
Right?
You're saying that, and it was crazy is Gil thinks he's making a point, and you're not, brother.
He always be doing that. Whenever he laughs or he says, right? No, you're not making it. You're talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself, buddy.
Saying that, but people have already said they're trying to be the next Jordan. They're trying to be the next LeBron. They're trying to be the next Hakeem Olajuwon or whatever player, right? You saying that you can't tell your kids you can't be XYZ, but there are several players who've been told they were the next iteration of a previous generational player. That's been happening for years now. And regardless of how you may feel that someone may mimic it or not, the truth of the matter is like the idea of telling your kid that they can be the next generational talent is something that's going to repeatedly happen because it's been happening for the last 20, 30 years now. So that's not anything new either.
Right, like nobody, think about it. Nobody could do what Michael Jordan did. We can analyze it, but we can't go out there and mimic it. Our fadeaway wouldn't look like his fadeaway. The moves, the croc, we couldn't do that.
Bro, y'all sit here and say Kobe does that? Bro, I'm floored right now. Y'all say that Kobe did that all the time. What are we doing right now? To sit here and say that you can't mimic it when we've openly stated that there is a player who's been able to mimic it.
Everyone has seen that mix of MJ and Kobe where they're doing, where it looks like Kobe is doing the exact same moves MJ did.
What Gil needs to stick on is the physical traits, the physical attributes that separate these players from everyone else. Because I do believe it doesn't matter how hard Kobe worked, it doesn't matter. His ability to jump as high as Jordan was never going to happen. His ability to float in air as long as Jordan was never going to happen. His wingspan, how wide his hands were, none of that stuff was going to happen. It didn't matter how hard Kobe worked, it was never ever going to happen that way. So in those regards, I understand what you're saying, but you can't say that you can't go out and mimic it, but then also say that Kobe went out and mimic Michael Jordan. Like, you can't say that. It doesn't make any sense.
Same thing with Magic Johnson. Everybody couldn't go out there and be a 6'9" point guard sitting there doing little shit like that. We couldn't go out there and be Shaquille O'Neal coming in breaking fucking backboards at 7'1", right?
The three that he can really he can go off of, that is MJ, Shaq, LeBron, Giannis. Like those, shit. You can even low key include Zion, cause he's like 6'6", but he has a 40 inch vertical, and he weighs damn near at 300 pounds, close 200, 285. Like, there's a lot of big fat niggas like that, but they can't run or jump like that. That's pretty generational. If he sticks to that,
He could not do it. We can't go out there and be fucking LeBron James.
Fair.
Would y'all mean be generational?
He could have been.
I think so.
Janky feet.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all mean
It
was different. It's like the difference. You be like, he's different.
Yeah, generational.
He's different.
Like that's what I said. Like even someone like Tom Brady, he wasn't generational. His was Michael all Vick, work ethic.
Michael Vick was generational.
And then the 20 years after him came
Lamar Jackson and
Cam Newton.
RG3s, them type joints. But even them, it's like Cam Newton would probably be the closest one. Mike Vick, because he came in as a 6'5". We never.
Like think about it. You can't mimic 6'5", 230.
That's running, fucking his quarter throwing and running.
That's what I'm saying. When we're talking about generation, we're talking about somebody you cannot recreate.
So healthy Zion, generational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we never seen anything like it.
Have not seen.
Yeah.
Even though it was more a smaller, compact guy.
Yeah. Ray Lewis.
Yes, those.
Lawrence Taylor.
Okay.
As long as they stick to the physical trait argument, I actually personally don't have a problem with this because a lot of people were having issues with saying that Curry isn't a generational talent, and as long as we stick through this ideology that talent is like physical traits that can't be taught, things that you cannot teach. It doesn't matter how hard you work on it. There are physical attributes that you possess that separates you from the pack of just all-time great players, then I agree. I agree with the idea of being a generational talent. And in that argument, I guess I can also understand how Curry kind of falls under that lineage of someone who's not a generational talent. I see what he's saying. I also just believe, however, that there are physical traits that Curry does possess that makes it practically impossible for somebody to mimic him. But I understand what they're attempting to say. When I see Giannis, I'll be like, bro, if people were trying to explain us who Giannis was back in the 60s, no one would ever believe them. So that's the reason why I kind of believe that maybe what Chamberlain was real. Like the things he did was actually true. But like you can't say that Giannis is tweaking. Giannis is like very clearly a generational talent based off of this argument that you're trying to make. But yo, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Also check out my last
Great vid, YRG though.